What's up, everybody? Tim with Neens Bees. It is September 7th, Friday, September 7th. And as you just saw, it is extraction time, part 1, because I still have probably a good 15 frames that are still on hives. 15 deep frames that are still on hives that I have to pull that I just haven't had a chance to. Half of them weren't capped yet, and so I was giving the bees a little bit of extra time to get going so they could cap them. I could pull them, and then I could start to refeed and get them. I need to condense because I've got hives that are in 3 deeps, and I can't run 3 deeps. You can run 3 deeps in the wintertime. It just is no fun working on them in the springtime when you're starting to look for queens, see how things are doing. Just a lot more woodenware to go through. So I'm set up in the garage here. I have my 4-frame extractor right here. Old timer. This thing's 30 years old. And I was going to buy an extractor this year. I didn't. I borrowed this from Dan Norsini. This is one of his old ones. He's got a big old 9-frame extractor now. Honey buckets. Got my little makeshift table here, kicked on the heater, and so I've got, right now, I've got more supers downstairs, but I've got one full 10-frame deep, one full medium, 10-frame super. There's that stuff. And then over here, I've got an 8-frame deep, and I've actually got one in my little oven that I made, and so this is for warming my honey. And so I take my little heater right there and I set it up, and it's so redneck, it's so western redneck, but it works, and it's gonna be fun. I've got a super long messy day ahead of me, so I'm only gonna do 4 deeps today, I think. Depends on how the day is progressing, but I wanted to show you some of these frames that I've got because they're beautiful. And so most guys run medium frames. I run mostly deeps on my 8s. And so look at, like, this frame right here is beautiful. You can see how thick it is. Like, it's just beautiful, beautiful capped honey. Get in here, some light in here. The stuff is just wonderful. And so this frame is probably, see how far that honey sticks out on the sides of that, 1/2 inch out past it. It's huge. This frame's probably 10 pounds, 10 or 11 pounds. And then here's another one. Oh, just such awesome. The bees did such a good job on this stuff. So same thing, got it drawn way out there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I'm going to extract today. I'm going to go run a couple of errands real quick and let it warm up in here a little bit more, and then we're going to start extracting. And so I'll just give you progressions throughout the day. So I think that I should be able to fill, with what I have downstairs, to at least 15 gallons. These are food grade buckets. You can buy these food grade buckets from Ace. This is an actual honey bucket with a honey gate on it, and that'll be used for bottling. So that's what I got. Here's some cappings. This is doing it the old fashioned way, where you just use a paint strainer, you break up. I used this because this is old. This was foundationless frame. And so in the extractor, you can't spin foundationless. You can only spin frames with foundation on them. And so they go right in there. I can spin 4-piece, 4 mediums or 4 deeps. And so I'll uncap into this bucket. This will, the frames will go in there. The honey will come out. It'll get strained again and filtered again. Not even filtered, it's just strained, but it just goes through coarse and a fine, just to get everything straightened out. So that's it. Here we go. So started extracting. Uncapping sucks. And I don't have a hot knife. I'm going to buy a hot knife, I think, because I think it's going to make it go a little bit better. But so what I'm doing is, you can see here, I've got 2 buckets. So in this bucket is this is just a paint straining cloth here. And I'm putting cappings in there. And then here I've got my strainer. Right there, I've got my strainer, and so cappings are going in there, plus I've got a paint strainer in there too. And so when I uncap this stuff, I've just got this big old knife that I made, this big old meat knife. And so I'm just taking and I'm running it down just like this. And so I've got to peel, like, this is one of those big frames that had these bees built way out. This frame's probably 12 pounds right here. And so just flop this down like this into there. It is such a nasty, sticky mess. I've got Elijah here filming for me. Say hi, Elijah.
Hi.
All right, that's my big kid. So that's one side of it. So this is what it looks like when you uncap. It's just, I mean, it's just all straight honey. So I'm just beautiful. Like, I'll just take this stuff right here and just flop it into this bucket, and that'll all drain out. So that's uncapping. So that's uncapping. That's uncap, and then give me just a minute and I'll show you when I extract. Okay, so here we are. You saw uncapping, and so then frames all go into the extractor. This old extractor, 30 years old thing, works like a charm. And so it's just ran off gearing system here, obviously, that you can see. And so you just spin these things, and the centrifugal force pulls that honey out to the edges. And so this is a radial extractor. A tangential extractor will extract both sides. This is a radial extractor, and so I've got to flip it. So I got to start off doing one side just a little bit, pull some of the honey out, flip the thing, or it'll get really off balance. But then once I flip back again, it extracts real easy. So just a quick. So I just unplug my handle here. Stuff spins, and this one's still got more to do, but I just wanted to show you. So then I pop the honey gate like this, and here comes the golden goodness. That's wonderful. Look at that. So I am a few frames in. I don't know how much honey's on the bottom of this tank. Probably about like this much. And then down into the strainer, because we'll still have cappings in it. I'm going to have to let this stuff settle out, scrape the cappings, because there's a second strainer underneath here, right there, that's a fine strainer, like I had showed you before. And then into the bucket, and that's what I got, man. So we're extracting. I'm almost done. I've got 3 frames left of that box. That box is done. Maybe I'm 5 gallons in right now. Whoops. Maybe 5 gallons in right now. I've got to bring up another super that I had downstairs, and then I've still got this 10 frame deep and this 10 frame medium to go through. So still quite a bit more to do. And then these cappings will all sit for the next day or so, drain out. I'll mash them around. I'll probably put them in like a solar melter and have the cappings warm up and separate out from the from the honey there. So this thing's getting pretty full. I'll probably just give it a minute to rest so it can all filter out. But that's what I got. I still have a lot more to do. So goodness. This is why I do this right here. Evelyn just got off the bus and was like, "Dad, what are you doing?" "Oh, I know what you're doing." What do you think of that golden goodness, little girl?
That's awesome.
Uh-huh. Neen from Neens Bees. Right here in the flesh. That's pretty good looking stuff, baby doll.
Uh-huh. Oh.
What do you think?
It's awesome.
Yeah? Get out of there now. Come on.
Alright. I have my little own house over here.
That's my little warming hut, but Evelyn's going to sit in it to watch honey extracting. Still going at it. Should be done pretty soon.
I'm in. Look at me. I'm in my box.
Okay, so this is the final step to the rest of the extraction. So got a couple of 5s here and using my honey gate, and it feels nice. That's some golden goodness right there. So first year of actual extraction. What do you think, Evelyn?
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
I can make a bubble.
And so there we go.
Yes.
We're bottling. It's pretty exciting. So thanks for watching, and I'll be making more.